Welcome back to Bachelor Happy Hour's Golden Hour. Thanks for joining us. Hi, Susan. So excited to be
Kathy.
back. How are you doing?
I'm doing great. I had a great trip to New York City the last couple days. I'm back. I'm ready to go. And hey, you people out there, if you're not following us, you're missing a lot. I'm just saying. Just follow the Bachelor Happy Hour and find us on Golden Hour, and you won't miss it.
It's so important that you guys follow us because you don't want to miss an episode. And the best thing about it is, if you follow us, you'll get notified. How easy is that? So unless you're hiding under a rock or sleeping 24/7, follow us and write us a review. And we want to hear you on our podcast.
And you know what? We're having so much fun answering these questions. You got to keep them coming, people. We're having a ball doing this. Sometimes they're sad. Sometimes they're funny. Sometimes our advice is off the charts.
But we always have something to say.
Yes, we do. Yes, we do.
All right. Well, today
we have some great questions, Kat, today, and the most perfect guest ever.
We do. Today, Bachelor Nation star and fan favorite and one of our very favorites, Lexi Young, is here. Hi, Lexi. Thanks so much for joining us, and we just cannot wait to chat with you.
Lexi, you are a hot blonde. I'm just saying. I hope the world knows what she did. I mean, she's plus 10. I can't.
I love you guys. Thank you.
We're so glad you're here. Tell us what's going on with you. Besides, blondes do have more fun, and you are absolutely gorgeous. Tell us what's going on in your life. Give us an update.
Been crazy. I mean, I'm sure, as you guys know, like coming off the show and getting back into life is an adjustment, to say the least. I feel like now I'm, kind of out of it enough that I'm back into the day-to-day. So I'm still working my job. So I am, pretty busy 9 to 6 during the week, and then trying to date, which I'm sure we'll get to.
I can't wait to hear this.
So Lexi, you talked on Joey's season about your health issues with endometriosis. Can you, and by the way, that was incredibly brave of you to do that. So yes. Kudos to you. And, it's an ongoing journey for you. So could you kind of share your updates on that a little?
Yeah. Definitely can. I appreciate you guys asking. So yeah, endo is, it's a disease that is so unpredictable, and it progressively gets worse over time. I was actually in New York a couple weeks ago, and I saw my surgeon, and I'm at the point, it's tough, right? So I'm at the point where they want to do another surgery. So they want to go in and they want to take out all of that tissue that shouldn't be there. But I just turned 31 years old. And so my doctor said, the ideal scenario is I would have one more surgery right before I want to conceive. And so that's a pretty hard thing to hear when you're sick, right? Like, I'm like, well, how do I time that up? Like, I'm not even dating someone, let alone having conversations about having a child. So I'm kind of in this waiting game right now where like the pain has gotten worse. But I'm not really a candidate for surgery given my age. They don't want you to have too many surgeries because it creates like a lot of scar tissue. Mm-hmm. So it's been kind of tough.
So wait, I'm a little confused, Lexi. You're saying they would go in and take out the tissue and then expect try to get you immediately to conceive before the tissue has a chance to regrow? Is that it?
Exactly. Because when they go in, they clean you up so you're like in your optimal state. Like all of that. And then because the tissue grows back immedially.
It's ready to conceive. Exactly. Yeah.
So that was a hard conversation.
Lexi, is it painful?
It is. Yeah. And it's the type of endo is the type of disease where it hits you at any point, right? And that's also tough during dating because I can be getting ready for a date feeling fine and then just get hit with a flare where like I'm debilitated and cramps. And like, how do you explain that to someone you just met? I
know.
So like, it's tough for sure.
Do you explain? When you're on a date, do you tell, we saw you do it on national TV.
Not the first date.
No, but typically, how is that received? Like, because a lot of people just don't know much about endometriosis.
They don't. And it's a fine line. I think I do try to disclose it now more early on because it's a part of my life. And I want to be with someone that's like, no worries, like we'll figure it out together. Yeah. But I don't want to do it on the first date because I have trauma from my past where it was against me. It was, my ex had an issue with that. And so he saw it as like a negative to me as a person. And so like Joey gave me the confidence to feel like I can have those conversations, but it doesn't for me.
Are you committed to having your own children? Would you adopt? How do you feel about that? Because you have, did I read somewhere or someone tell me that you have frozen your eggs?
I did. I froze them like 8 days before I walked through the limo to meet Joey, which is
Oh, wow.
so crazy.
Oh, that's so sweet.
I was like, it was sweet, but I was so like, you're on so many hormones during that. Like, I was not myself, I feel like, but that's okay. I mean, it all worked out. But
Wait, can we use that excuse, Susan? We had frozen our eggs so we weren't ourselves on the show.
Yeah.
She was absolutely fabulous on that show. I mean, hands down, more class and more strength. We really admire you.
Thank you. So yeah, I have my eggs in they're frozen right now down the street. And so that is reassuring, but I am, to answer your question, 100% open to adoption. I'd love to have one of my own. Like, I've always wanted to be a mom. I feel a calling towards that. And, but adoption is something with the right person I would absolutely love to adopt.
Wow.
I love it. I love it.
I
have a question.
Yeah, go ahead. No, go ahead.
Do you believe in soulmates?
That's a good
Did
question.
you lose that? I mean, did you believe in it prior to the show? And do you feel any differently now?
Yeah, I think, if you had asked me that at 26, I would have been like, yes, 100%. Like, but it's so funny as you date and you get older while you're dating, like, you realize you can have multiple soulmates. You realize you can fall in love multiple times. And
Exactly.
I always say that to my friends that are going through a hard time, because your first love, like, it's so meaningful and powerful. But I look back to the person I thought I was going to marry, the person that I broke up with before I went on the show. And I'm so grateful that we did not. Right. And you see all those things afterwards.
It takes time. Yes. It takes time to realize that.
Yeah. Lexi, how long were you with your ex that you broke up with?
Yeah, about 2.5, 3 years. So it was substantial. We were talking about marriage, engagement, the house, the whole thing. I live in Atlanta. People here are married at 22.
Oh, yeah.
I was like, okay, when is it going to happen? And everything happens for a reason. I'm so grateful it didn't work out, but it does make you reevaluate how you think about soulmates. At least me. I'm sure you guys feel the same, right?
I still believe in soulmates, and I believe there's more than one out there.
Yeah. I think for me, I agree with Susan. I agree with you, Lexi. I feel like, I would love to find my next partner, but I'm not going to try to replace my husband. It would just be someone different. But yeah, I think you can have more than one soulmate. I just have one other quick question about your ex, because we talk about this a lot on the show. Would you ever consider dating him again?
Well, absolutely not. No.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah, never in a million worlds. I think I was very disrespected in that relationship towards myself. And I wish the confidence I have now. And, it's funny, like my whole life, I've always kind of been in the background. I never saw myself as like this confident person, but watching the show back, I saw this person I didn't even know existed in me. And I was like, why would I tolerate that? And so I don't regret anything. Everything happens for a reason. You learn so much.
So that's a great segue into my next question, which is, given your experience with your ex and given your experience with Joey and just what you learned from the show, tell me what you're looking for now. Are your expectations different? And what are you looking for now that you weren't before?
They're so different. It's funny. And I don't want to be that person because I'm only 31. I'm not, sometimes I talk to my friends who are like 26 and I act like this elder. I'm not, but it has changed. I have to be with this tall. I had this whole hyper fixation on tall. I don't care. They could be 5'4". I want someone who has a good soul, who is smart and driven and very empathetic and has the same long-term goals as me in terms of like having a family and, building something together. And I don't care really about the physical anymore.
It's about them being emotionally ready too.
It's about them being emotionally ready, having maturity to them. And I think physical can grow. I've also learned that as I've dated. I've gone on dates with people that I was not excited about looking at their pictures. And then I got to talk to them and I was so attracted to them based on
right. How is the dating going right now? Like, what's going on?
It's tough out there.
I gave up.
But I look at you, Lexi, you are absolutely, truly, I'm not just saying this, you are absolutely stunningly beautiful. Do you think that maybe men are intimidated by your beauty? Have you ever thought about that?
I mean,
they look at you and they go, oh, she wouldn't talk to me. I'm not even going to try.
I think
maybe you need to make the first move.
I think the intimidation for me is like in my career because I've poured myself into my work probably to a bit of an extreme, and I'm a bit of a workaholic, and I go on dates with people and they're like, "Oh my gosh, I look up to you so much. Like you're so driven." And I don't really want to hear that. I want to be like, I'm also driven, Like I think a lot of the time also, like I've been alone now for a while. I'm 31. I'm extremely comfortable in my own life. I'm financially stable. Like I don't need you. So like what are you
I
gonna
want
add?
you. There's a difference
add
in
to my
need
life?
and want. Yeah.
And
Correct.
I love hearing that because so many women, younger women, they say, I just need the guy to complete me. No, friends. You need to be complete by yourself and then let the right person compliment you. That is just brilliant, Lexi. You're so right. I mean,
And
you are complete.
Do you have conversations, not on the first few dates, of course, about having children, what you want?
Yes. I'm pretty open about it. I mean,
Yeah. I don't see why you shouldn't be.
why not? Like, and that's the other thing now. I used to hold things back or give people a chance. Not that I don't not give people chances, but if I see red flags, I kind of just keep it moving now. And I'd rather say,
Me
yeah, I do. Yeah. Right. Like I do want kids soon. I mean, I'm not trying to.
It took 60 years for me to figure that
No,
out.
Susan, we're going to discuss this at a later date. Susan sees red flags and goes, let me give him a couple of years and see if I can change those red flags to white. Lexi,
would you guys agree that they never go away?
Never, ever. Either with mine.
Yeah. Once a red flag is there, it's red, it's crimson. Call it any color you want, but it's not white.
We are who we are. We believe and feel the way we do. Nobody can change that.
The all-electric Chevy Equinox EV is America's most affordable EV with over 315 miles of range. So what
of starting at MSR.
Suggested retail price excludes season. It could be almost anything that has almost nothing to do with your different lifestyles, such as plant-based diet. .com spelled Nutrafol.com, promo code happy hour. That's Nutrafol.com, promo code happy hour.
This song goes out to my new best pal, PayPal. Now that
You are, I'm even more proud of
yours. Oh, I don't just pay, PayPal.
Terms apply. See PayPal app. This card is issued by the Bancorp Bank N.A. pursuant to license by MasterCard International Inc.
Right.
Do you think
stick to your guns. You are. I'm even more proud of her than I was on the show.
Yeah,
Kathy.
I'm very. Yeah, I agree. I want to know, Lexi, because you do seem so confident now, and I think. I'm asking you, do you think men out there want women at your age? Because at my age, we're talking about dust. But at your age, do you think that men want a woman who is dependent on them? What's going on in your age range? Do they want that dependency and you're too independent? Because you seem independent.
Yeah, I do think so. I've run into that in the dating world where I think guys are like, almost want you to lean on them more so they can feel that power of masculinity. Like where I'm like, I don't need you. I want you. You're an addition to my life. I'm bringing you kind of as how can you enhance what I already have? And so, I think guys are threatened by that. Not everyone.
You're absolutely 100% correct. And it's a little bit, I dare say, game. As independent as all three of us are, whether it's financially, I don't mind being alone. I want to share my life with someone.
Susan, I need you.
But you need them to think you need them at certain times. Just like you always have to say, thank you. Oh, babe, you did that for me, where we don't think anything of it. Yeah, right. You took out the trash. Well, that's your job. You're supposed to take out. That's your duty. My duty is the dishes or whatever. But when they get gratitude for it, that makes them feel.
I know.
I learned that the hard way. Trust me.
Yeah,
it doesn't
accept it, right? Like I think I'm so much like a lot of guys will be like, do you want me to pick you up or call you an Uber? And I'm like, what do you mean? Like I can get there on my own.
But what do you mean?
It's about being like, sure, call me an Uber. Like,
No, Lexi, that's when you say, yes, please send me your jet.
Yeah, literally.
Forget the Uber.
What is your favorite thing and least favorite about being single?
That's a great question. I don't think anyone's asked me that. It's always the narrative is now like, well, when are you going to meet someone?
It's not about that.
Yeah. I guess my least favorite thing is life events. So I think
Yeah.
I have all these things like the 4th of July, your birthday, Christmas, Thanksgiving.
A wedding. Yes.
A wedding. Like I want to start building memories. I want to be like, oh, last year for the 4th of July, we went to the beach and we saw the fireworks and like building traditions. Like I feel like I go through the minutia of these, these big holidays, and I'm with all my friends and I love them and they're amazing, but sometimes it's like I wish I could share that with someone else. So that's probably my least favorite thing. And my favorite thing about being single is being able to like pour a lot of energy into myself in a way that you can't necessarily always do when you're in a relationship. So you can be a little selfish, right? Like you can and, I'm working on a side project right now outside of work, and, I can take the trip and go visit a friend. I maybe
can do whatever you want. Yeah. I think that's why I'm still single, because I will always do whatever I want. Sometimes
which is why
be included. Sometimes
Susan,
not.
That's why you're still single, because you will always.
I'm like, I heard that before, because I'm like, shoot, okay, it's about being a team, right? And I'm super aware of that.
So let me just explain to you. In my opinion, you're right. You can do whatever you want now. When you get married, then you have to consider your partner, or not get married, but when you get with someone, you have to consider your partner. And then when you have children, game over. No more sleep, no more, it's a whole different world. So, I'm glad that you're enjoying, while it's a mixed bag, right? It's never perfect, because when you're your age, you want children and you want a partner, but once you have them, you have them. And so it's hard to get that mix. Yeah, really.
My friends are on their second baby right now, and I go to all the baby showers. I'm the fun aunt. So I see what it does to a relationship, though.
Yeah.
I'm not related to that. Like my friends who have had the strongest marriages have had rough days, right? Because having a newborn baby is hard. So you really have a strong foundation to bring in children. And
that's
so. I want to know, Lexi, how do you stay so positive then? Because you are clearly
she's living her best life. Look at her. She looks in the mirror and feels thankful, grateful. Look at me.
So, hey, Susan, you and I do too. But that, some days we all wake up. Come on, we all wake up.
Well, I'm about to go down the beach this weekend as the fifth wheel again. I'm kind of getting used to it. I mean, yes,
I'm sorry. Where's my invitation?
But I know what you're saying, Lexi. You do get used to it. You still go, and you're not disappointed. But it would have been nice. Yeah,
don't get me wrong. Like I definitely have my days where, especially, like it will hit me. Like I feel behind, and I know that's so dumb to say, but like
I know.
I think, oh my gosh, my friends are on their second kid. Like by the time I have kids, their kids will be in middle school. I mean, that's so dramatic. But like you get in your head,
but it's natural.
Yeah, it is.
Is there something you do though, like every day? Like I wake up every day, and I know Susan does too. We just say thank you. We're so grateful to wake up and have the energy. Do you have something you do that keeps you positive?
I feel a sense of hope, because I do believe, after going through a few traumatic relationships that ended, and I've been through a lot, like with my health, I've been through a lot of seasons for being 31. I feel like there's hope that it will happen when it's supposed to happen. I know that's so like lame to say, and
it's not. Don't say that.
To say.
Leave that sentence out.
Yeah, but I do feel that he's out there right now, and we just haven't crossed paths for a reason, and we will soon. And when it happens, I feel like it will probably happen quickly for me, because my life's set up to bring someone in, and I would hopefully meet someone that matches that. But I mean,
would you date someone older?
I would
with children, with someone who has children.
I've thought about that. I can't answer that. I don't know. I think it
would depend on the man. It would depend on the person. How you felt. Yeah,
I never saw that for myself. So that would be something new. For the right person, I would, as long as they would want more children. So that's really important to me. But I would date someone older for sure. I've always dated younger.
Me too.
You've always dated guys younger than you? Okay, Lexi, this, I think we may have just hit, before we move on to the next topic, I think we may have just hit the jackpot as to why you're not dating guys who meet your standard, because guys do not mature until they're, I don't know, what do you say, Susan?
They're 5 years behind us. They're 5 good years behind us.
5 to 10. I mean, that's why I'm saying you might want to look at guys a little bit older, because you have your ducks in a row.
I'll go older, I'll go younger, I'll go the same age. prestige.
A lot of the times they have a lot of trauma baggage, but who doesn't? So maybe
everyone does.
I know, but if you find someone who's like, and I'd have no business dating a 26-year-old, but a lot of the times the younger guys like are more moldable. This is terrible. I don't know.
It's not terrible.
I should probably.
I want to hook her up with Nick. I swear. I just
you
want him to get married.
Listen, I got married when I was 20, and I trained my husband. And I'm not doing. Yeah, that's you. In some ways,
they don't do that anymore, Kath. That's done.
Really?
Forget.
Another reason I'm single.
We can't compare that. But we're going to have some advice with Lexi. Lexi, will you join us with this one?
Do it.
So we read some questions, and then we give some advice, and we want you to weigh in on this, okay? All right, here's our first one. This one is from Anonymous, age 32, from Cleveland, Ohio. Hi, Golden Girls. I'm curious if you have ever known anyone to cancel a wedding after so much has already been paid for. I have just been having this gut-wrenching feeling recently that my fiancé and I are not meant to be. We have been together for 5 years, and I didn't see this coming. But as the day is approaching, I am realizing, for a lot of reasons, like him recently deciding he doesn't want to have kids after we previously discussed otherwise, that I should not marry this man. If you know anyone who has been through this, how did their family, friends, bridal party react? I haven't told anyone besides my therapist that I'm thinking about this, and we are 4 months out. I feel so guilty because we have all spent a lot of time and money on this, but I know if we get married, it will end in divorce. Any words of wisdom are appreciated. Thank you, besties. Well, Anonymous, what do you think? What do you think?
I know someone that this happened to. I won't say who because someone's close to life, but it was a similar timeline. And was it hard while it was happening? They had already had the bachelorette party. Everything was planned. Everyone's flights were booked. Yes, it was hard. But here's the thing. The people in your life who love you and support you do not want you to enter a marriage that is going to end in divorce. If you're thinking about that before walking down the aisle, it's only going to get more challenging. And so, yes, it might be like a season, a little period of really something you don't want to deal with. But at the end, I have to say, you can't.
Yeah, it'll hurt like hell, but I think she should up front talk to him and tell him what she's thinking and feeling. You know, because sometimes men will say, oh, I don't think I want to have kids, yet they do.
The all-electric Chevy Equinox EV is America's most affordable EV.
Effortless technology, all loading, and how you use
Time store, the .com store.
Now we have a level of privilege that our parents never promised to myself to say, I don't want to relive that.
You've talked about it with your therapist.
Say,
yeah, I think people.
Farm is there. State Farm, proud sponsor of My Cultura Podcast Network.
Or they don't even know they do. Not that she should stay and try it and end up in a divorce, but you're exactly right. The people
I
think
people would
there.
say, yeah, I think people initially would say to her, oh, you're just having cold feet.
Yeah, that would be part of
that's
it.
what people would start to say. But Anonymous, what I hear you saying is you're very thoughtful about this. You've talked about it with your therapist, and what I'm hearing is he has changed his mind about children. And you know what? That's just not okay to do it. And frankly, that's what engagements are for. You know, it's better to break it off now, in my opinion. You know, send back the silver, send back the honeymoon money, send it all back. And next, when you find the right guy, go elope. And you know what? You've made it even. You haven't spent too much money. I think that's really sad, but I think she's got to do the right thing.
I think it hurts a lot and you're going to feel guilty, but don't. Just be you and be true to yourself, because if not, you'll regret this.
Yeah. And I think it's important to talk to him too. Like
I do.
You know, I understand that you can get these thoughts in your head and they can ruminate and they can start to spiral. Like I think sitting down and having a conversation, maybe he feels the same way. Like,
that's a good point.
That's why I said, like, she's really considering stopping this.
Yeah, but you know what? She's also very concerned about what her family and friends and the bridal party will say.
They're her family and friends. They're going to get over it.
Yeah, and if they,
it's not their life. They're not signing a marriage agreement. They're not living with him for the next 60 years. Like at the end of the day, like they might have thoughts, feelings, emotions, but it's not their life. And so she's the only one has the pen to her story. And
Lexi, you're so wise. You're
She
so
is.
wise.
We wish you lots of luck, Anonymous from Cleveland. Okay, the next one is from Robin, and she's 48 and from Fort Lauderdale, Florida. Hey, ladies, I have been running into an issue in the bedroom with my husband. We are on very different pages when it comes to sex, like how often we want it, how often each one wants it. He has a high libido and wants to have sex every day, sometimes even 2 times a day. Not only do I not have that sex drive, but a few years ago, my back got injured in a car accident. So having sex that frequently isn't sustainable for me. Some days I'm in pain and cannot have sex at all. I don't know what to do or how to get on the same page about this. We are great partners otherwise and have been together for 15 years, but I fear he is going to want to leave me over this because we've been fighting about it recently. Let me know your thoughts and if you have any advice. Thank you and love your podcast. Oh, man.
Okay, Lexi, what do you say?
that's a tough one. I think as someone who has a lot of pelvic pain, I can understand to a degree of, you know, maybe someone wanting it more and being in pain and not being able to necessarily do that all the time. But I think with the right person, if you had an open line of communication, there's other things that you can do.
My words.
That maybe you guys can find other things that can like spark that romantic vibe, what they're looking for in a different way that's not as like impactful to her physical health and well-being.
Right. I mean, when I first hear it, I feel bad. But then I also know women, like she's 48. So you kind of, the libido goes like this. It's going to start. And the next 10 years are even worse when you start losing hormones and start menopause
I don't think that's true for every woman. I don't think that's true. I think some women, yes, some women, their libido increases over age. I think
I was that girl.
Yeah, I think that this, Robin, what I'm hearing, maybe part of this is, and I think you can agree with this, Lexi, if you're in pain and you know some sexual act is going to cause you pain, you're probably not saying, hey, let's go do that, because you know what's going to ensue, right? So she's probably fearful of the pain, and that decreases her sexual appetite. I mean, I get that. But
there's other things that could play.
Yeah.
So keep them satisfied, so to speak, but in a way that you could enjoy it as well.
Exactly. Yep.
Do you not think, I'm curious, again, Lexi, Susan and I are, on the other end of the spectrum here, but do you think that not having sex twice a day, like, can you see that ruining a marriage?
No.
Twice a day is a lot.
I think that, everyone
or once a day, whatever. I'm saying, could you see that?
I think not after 15 years. I think everyone has their expectations of what they need from a physical perspective, but there has to be something outside of that physical relationship that's keeping you together, right? Like it's not their whole relationship isn't riding on this. And I hope not. And it sounds like it's not, because she said they have a great marriage, but I think, it's all about communication, especially when it comes to
she steals my words. I love you. You're exactly right. I was just going to say that's our C word coming into play.
It is.
Once again, it is so important that you have a conversation. Let them know how you're feeling.
Right.
I agree with that. What I was trying to say is, even if you can communicate, I'm asking you as a younger person, even if you communicate, if her husband that's his jam. I want to have sex once a day, sometimes twice a day. And that's I hate to say it, has become a deal breaker for him. Marriages have ended on a lot less.
But it's not yet. She's worried that it could. See,
they've been fighting about it.
Yeah. She's overthinking it. She's feeling a little bit of guilt.
I have the solution.
She hurts.
Susan.
Get him a playmate.
No, Robin, send your husband to Susan and me. We'll take care of him. You just rest your back. We'll take care of him.
Oh, my goodness, Robin. We wish you luck, but talk to your man. And then discover other things.
Yeah, exactly.
That's even coming from a 31-year-old and a 71-year-old and a 67-year-old.
I mean, wow.
I know. I'll meet him now.
I think we've hit the.
So wait, Lex, what if it were you?
And they wanted, to be physical.
I mean, twice a day, every day is ridiculous. Come on, that gets old after 15 years.
Don't get me wrong. With the right person, like I'm a very physical touch type of gal, and
so
I think other things you can do. But like,
what is your love language, Lexi?
My love language is quality time for sure. I love being with the person that I care about, doing nothing, even but. I feel like, I could speak to all of them, but quality time is mine. What about you guys?
Physical touch. And I think I want all 5.
I want them all. But I want to know, I want them all. I want them all. I have a question though, Lexi, before we leave here.
Yeah.
Do you have any questions for us? Any advice you want from us, or do you have any advice for us?
Yeah,
since you seem to have your life totally together.
What do you think, Lex?
Gosh. Well, I guess the advice, you said you got married to Kathy at 20.
I did.
So I don't know how old you were.
I was a little older.
Okay.
In my 20s, though.
In your 20s, like what do you like? There's all this pressure, right? I mean, I feel it a lot as I'm turning 31. Like everyone says at 35, your fertility goes down. And I have
my girlfriend just had a baby. She's 42 and is she gorgeous?
And then you hear narratives. I hear this all the time. Oh, you're single and 31. What's wrong with you?
Oh, yeah.
So I will tell you, Lexi, my daughter moved back. She's as beautiful as you are and very successful. And she moved back to Austin. And this is the advice I give everyone who, if you're asking for advice, who's your age, and you seem to really have adopted it. Do the things that you love, whatever those activities are, whatever brings you joy, get out and do those things, and the right people will come into your life, because they're not going to come knock at your front door, right? But if you're out doing the things that you love and meeting people, you're going to meet that person that connects with you and that you connect with.
And I do believe that to a point, Kathy, because the times are so different with the dating apps and the people with their head down and they think, oh, that one's next. Who's next? And there are multiple dating sites. It's not always that easy.
Well, I agree.
But the most important part of the statement that you just made was do the things that you like, that make you happy. And if that happens, great.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, for sure. And just trying to stay positive, like you guys said. But it's that narrative. I think it needs to stop. Like, I think
Kathy has to keep me positive because I bitch all the time.
It's hard. No one's perfect, obviously. But I think you said if you get
I'm sorry, wait, excuse me? Who's not perfect? What?
Oh, God. Don't go there, Lex.
Oh, shoot.
We would love to be in your company again. And you're in Atlanta?
I am for now. Yeah, I'm trying to figure out what that looks like for me. Because dating in Atlanta is hard, but I don't want to move.
Every city.
And that's what everyone tells me. They're like, you're not going to move to New York and be
Come to Austin. There's tons of single guys in Austin.
Austin's great too. Have you ever been?
I've been for a work trip. I've never been for fun, but they had great restaurants. Like it's a great city.
It's hot, but it's a beautiful, beautiful city.
So
and you know what? You have given us such good advice, given everybody good advice. I just thank you so much from the bottom of my heart. And Kath, maybe we could take the show on the road and go down to Atlanta and hang, and we'll do a podcast from her house.
I'd love that. I have great friends in Atlanta. I'm going to see if they've got kids your age. So I'm going to see if they know anybody single, Lexi. I'll get back to you on that.
You just keep doing you. Stay beautiful.
Thank you. You guys are the best.
Well, that does it for this episode of Bachelor Happy Hour's Golden Hour. Thank our lovely guest, Lexi. And this is not the last time we'll be talking to you. We adore you.
Yeah. Lexi, we have loved chatting with you. And I have to say, I loved you on Joey's season. I love you even more now. And it has nothing to do with you being blonde. You are wise beyond your years. And whatever's wrong with you guys, figure it out, because this girl should not be single. But in the meantime, Lexi, while you're looking for a guy, the rest of you, join us on our podcast. Be sure to follow Bachelor Happy Hour. We have new episodes coming out all the time. And if you enjoyed today, you are going to love the ones coming up.
You need to go to her page and check her out. Did you post what you look like right now with this blonde hair? I mean, I just can't. You are one hot mama. And ladies and gentlemen, submit your questions, because you see what we do. We dissect them. We give the best advice we can. I mean, we're all over the map with it. So you can go to bachelornation.com/golden hour and hit us up on social media.
Listen to Bachelor Happy Hour's Golden Hour on the iHeartRadio app, or wherever you listen to podcasts. Thanks again and have a great week. See you next time.